this is how we dress. Old school. This is the old school of people. Check it out. No sagging. This is the Cali old school style of dressing. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and do a little bit of finishing up on my story prior to this video. So I was as you know, in juvenile hall, central juvenile hall, went out to court for fighting with that kid, and then he got on the stand and said that I threw a chair at him. So I ended up getting a mutual combat. The judge said, well, look, you're twice his size, you're 17, going on 18. This kid's 11 years old, you broke his nose, he threw a chair at you, it looks like it's pretty much even to me. So he declared a mutual combat, and I still ended up having to go to the California Youth Authority at Norwalk, Southern Reception Center and Clinic, which is a state-ran facility. I was at a county camp, juvenile hall, which is Los Angeles County probation. The officers run those places. From there, I had to go to the state of California, which is the California Youth Authority, for a 90-day observation. So I only ended up doing 90 more days, but still, kids, it's nothing nice in those places, because in YA I was doing a lot more fighting, because you have to fight in there. As soon as you get there, like, where you from, that's your enemies. And as soon as you say Longo East Side, like I did, they're like, F your neighborhood, this is so-and-so, weed miles, or whatever, so it was on and cracking. So at the age of 11, I had to fight my way out of a whole bunch of those situations. Anyhow, so from the Youth Authority, I got out, and at the age of 11, I kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. I was already jumped into to Eastside Longo. I was already part of the barrio. So I started, that was like 1976. Yeah, 76, 77, 78. By 1979, I had already been in and out of camps, YAs, placement, boys' homes, foster homes, everything you can think of, I went through. Like I said, I was 9 years old when I went to the Altadena boys' home, Sycamore boys' home in Altadena, California. So you guys can just imagine. By the age of 11, I had already been in and out of all those types of places, including the Youth Authority by the age of 14. By the age of 16, I went back to the Youth Authority, but before that, I was shot, and the bullet punctured my left lung. It lodged in my T9 vertebrae, my thoracic spine, still there to this day. When it punctured my lung, I was rushed to the hospital. I flatlined once in the ambulance, that means I died. Once in the ambulance, it revived me. During surgery, I remember the guy masking up, Dr. Benedict. I'll never forget that. Man was an angel. He saved my life, my young life. He was masking up and he said, hey kid, I hate to break the bad news to you. I can see your eyes are open and you're looking at me. Don't even try to talk, just lay there. I couldn't anyway, I was so much pain. My lung was hurting so much I couldn't have spoken if I wanted to. He was preparing to open my side with that scar that you guys seen in the prior video, kids. He told me the bad news is that I can't give you anything for the pain, not even an aspirin, because you're bleeding internally, kid. That means your lungs are filling with blood as we speak. I need to open you right away, immediately, ASAP, and insert a chest tube into your lung to drain the blood out. He said, you're going to feel every bit of it. You'll probably go into shock. He said, if you have a God, make peace with him, because I don't think you're going to survive. It's too much trauma for a 14-year-old kid. As soon as he said that, he told the big buff nurse, two of them. I remember the biggest one, he grabbed my arm and he held it like this, and the other one put an ice pack here for a little bit. That's nothing, an ice pack, to numb my side. And he said, "Step aside," and that's when he stuck the scalpel. I remember him putting the tray of different kinds of scalpels, knives. Scalpels are called in medical terminology. I remember him sticking it into my side, cutting it open, sticking his fingers into my side, and then as soon as he started breaking my rib cage, I heard him say, "Bring the rib separator," and that's when a female nurse, I saw her stick these two metal prongs into my ribs, between my ribs, and as soon as she started turning it, the rib separator, that's why they call it that, started separating my rib cage, and I heard cracking like when you crack a chicken bone to eat it. That's what it felt like. And then I looked and I could see my heart pumping through the hole, and that's when I blacked out and I started coming in and out of consciousness, and I yelled at the top of my lungs, I ain't gonna lie. I said, "God, please let me die. I can't take this pain. Please, just let me die. Please, God." And I kept yelling and screaming, and my mom could hear it all the way out in the waiting room. And the homies that were all out there could also hear me screaming. I heard it later on from them. That's how loud I was screaming. And when I said that, that's when I felt a peacefulness. God answered my prayer. He let me die. So as I died, I could look down and I could see myself laying in the gurney. I can hear the doctor saying, "We lost him during the surgery. He flatlined again. He's gone. We're not going to be able to revive him this time." And I could see him pointing at this machine, and it was a red line. They didn't have computers back then and phones like you kids have nowadays. Everything was done on paper, written, except for a few computers they had was like that Vital machine and a few other ones, but that's about it. Technology was really far behind back then in the 70s. Anyway, so I could see the flat line, the red flat line. At first it was going like this, and then it just went like that, straight line. I remember him pointing to that